Amazon MGM Studios is tripling down on The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. They announced an official Season 3 renewal for the show, despite massive declining viewership, where it was so bad it was literally on the level of The Acolyte, which the Walt Disney Company canceled because of low viewership. But Amazon MGM Studios, they're tripling down. Roll this up over at fanandpulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. Here is the official announcement over on their X account. Prime Video confirms Season 3 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Acclaimed directors Charlotte Brandstrom, Sana Hamri, and Stefan Schwartz set for upcoming seasons. So I think they had like 6 women for Season 2. We're now down to 3. So I wonder if they've reduced the budgets there. Reduced how much they are spending on this show, given the fact that they've reduced the number of directors. Who knows? There are rumors out there that said they were reducing the budgets for the 3rd season because these first 2 seasons have seen such decline in viewership. We also got comments here from Vernon Davis. He is the head of television at Amazon MGM Studios. He said this in a press release. He says, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power continues to captivate audiences worldwide, and we're thrilled that a 3rd season is underway. The creative team has an extraordinary vision of what's to come with stories that have left us enchanted and enthralled. We look forward to continuing this epic journey for our global customers, delving even deeper into the legendary tales that shaped Middle-earth. So, a bunch of corporate PR nonsense there. But let's get into the meat of this, right? So, this show has done terribly. Back in April 2023, Kim Masters at The Hollywood Reporter reported that 63% of people who watched part of the first season in the United States did not finish it. 63% of people who watched part of the first season did not finish it. That's a lot. So this is what she wrote. While Amazon, like other streamers, provides only limited data, and internally it held information even more closely than usual on the series, sources confirmed that The Rings of Power had a 37% domestic completion rate. Customers who watched the entire series. That means 63% did not finish it. For those outside the United States, the completion rate was higher. Masters said this, overseas it reached 45%. A 50% completion rate would be a solid but not spectacular result, according to insiders. So, didn't even do good internationally either. And who knows what the proportion is to domestic and international. My guess it's probably is more domestic than international with Lord of the Rings. Although you could see maybe overall it might be marginally higher on the international. Who knows? I don't know. Pure speculation there. But we would have some confirmation of her report. So we had Samba TV. They reported that viewership in the United States for the Season 2 premiere declined by nearly 50% compared to the Season 1 premiere. In September 2022, the firm reported that the show's Season 1 premiere attracted 1.8 million U.S. households. At the beginning of September, following the Season 2 premiere, it reported that only 902,000 U.S. households watched. That's a decline of 49.8%. 50% decline. 50% decline in minutes or households viewing, according to Samba. Huge decline. It's not just Samba TV either. As noted by X-User Now It's Known, Nielsen reported back in 2022 that the show's 2-episode premiere raked in 1.253 billion minutes watched, with the Season 2 3-episode premiere only bringing in 1.015 billion minutes watched. You can see the Nielsen charts right here, 1.2, and then 1.015, I think, if I can read that. Yeah, 1.015. If you do a simple calculation where you divide the total minutes watched by the total runtime, it gives you 9.4 million for the first season and 4.9 million for the second season. That's a decline of 47%. So very similar to what we saw here from Samba. Remember, 49.8. Now we're looking at 47%. That is pretty close there if you make a comparison there. That trend continued with the season finales as well. The week the Season 2 finale aired saw the show's total minutes only bring in about half of the week when the Season 1 finale aired. Season 1 finale brought in 1.137 billion minutes watched, while the Season 2 finale only did 527 million minutes watched. This is a decline of 53.6%. Again, now it's known, sharing those Nielsen charts here. You can see that. It's also, look at it in the article on fanandpulse.com. Of note, those viewership numbers are on par with Lucasfilm's The Acolyte. That was scrapped after its first season due to poor viewership. Nielsen reported that the week The Acolyte's finale aired, it only brought in 335 million minutes watched. If you do a simple runtime calculation, that comes to around 6.8 million views, given the final episode of The Acolyte had a runtime of 49 minutes. The Rings of Power Season 2 finale did marginally better. A simple runtime calculation for the week of its finale comes to 7.12 million views, given its finale had a runtime of 74 minutes. So marginally better than The Acolyte, and the Walt Disney Company canceled The Acolyte after its first season. Amazon MGM Studios tripling down here on The Rings of Power, despite these abysmal viewership numbers. The official renewal, though, is not all that surprising, given Amazon MGM Studios boss Jennifer Salke was asked by Variety back in October 2024 if there would be a change to the 50-episode commitment. And she said, "I don't think so. That commitment is never the thing that's driving what we're doing. We'll continue to make the show as long as we see global customers loving it and watching it to the point where it is a business. Obviously, we need a large amount of people showing up, and there are a large amount of people, so there's no debate about whether or not the show will continue." So she's saying that there's still a large amount of people watching the show. We can clearly see it is in decline and has been declining over the first 2 seasons, and there is no evidence that there is going to be any upward tick whatsoever. I can only imagine that this season 3, when it does air, it is going to see even lower viewership. And again, we also heard from showrunner Patrick McKay. He told this YouTube channel, Rings and Realms, that he was already working on a 3rd season. He said, "We're writing season 3, and there's a lot happening." So it's not surprising that this show got renewed for season 3, but it does look like that Amazon MGM Studios is committed to just burning cash with this show. And that is what they're doing. Not only are they burning cash, but they're burning goodwill. They're burning the IP, the franchise, the brand. This is a world-renowned brand. People love The Lord of the Rings. They love J.R.R. Tolkien's novels. There are also a lot of people that love what the Warner Brothers did with the movies, what Peter Jackson did with the movies. Lots of people love those. I like both. I love them both. And they're ruining it. They are ruining this franchise for many people. They could have done a very easy, direct adaptation of The Silmarillion. They chose not to. They chose not to get those rights. They chose not to try and work with the Tolkien estate to do that. And instead, they've created this DEI abomination that people are tuning out, not watching, and all it's doing is eroding the name of The Lord of the Rings. And I think maybe that is their intention. Maybe that is why they are tripling down, because they clearly, I don't think, as Jennifer Salke says, are looking at this from a business perspective. It's hard to look at these numbers, see this declining viewership, see kind of the brand reputation they've done or brand damage that they've done to The Lord of the Rings, and kind of justify that you're still operating it as a business. I just don't see that whatsoever. Maybe the business is destroying the good name of The Lord of the Rings and J.R. Tolkien, and maybe that's the business that she's really in, because I don't think she's in the business of making Amazon money, especially not with this show and a number of the shows that she's done, whether that be Wheel of Time, such as Wheel of Time as well. But let me know what you guys make of them announcing this 3rd season. Despite these massive declines in viewership, I think it would have been better off to just end it there, stop the bleeding, and get someone in there who would actually make a legitimate adaptation of Tolkien's works and give us something that we would actually love and enjoy and get people excited to see and watch, rather than this absolute pile of garbage that they have created with the Rings of Power. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable. Remember to always speak the truth.